Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, oh boy, is it a top story all across social media and maybe even within media. And of course, commentaries and conservatives and free speech champions. We have here from InfoWars, the company started and created and run by Alex Jones. Breaking. Alex Jones reinstated on X. Now, I know exactly what detractors are thinking this very instance. We're going to get to that. Just relax. And of course, as you know, here on the BuzWeaver channel, we take the difficult, we take the complicated, we take the tumult, we take the confusion, we take the controversy, and we break it down into very simple terms. As you know, if you have been a long-time subscriber to the BuzWeaver channel, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe as well as to hit like right now, as it is appreciated. Thank you. We know that Alex Jones was the very first person to be banned and eviscerated by the left, by the establishment, by the cancel culture, woke outrage mob, and Oliver Darcy from CNN tries to take credit for all of it for having Alex Jones banned. But this was at the height of this current establishment's position to get rid of, to eviscerate anyone who opposed their ideology, their philosophy, and their worldview. Now, we know that Alex Jones is bombastic. People don't necessarily watch Alex Jones to get serious news stories and analysis and commentary as much as he is an infotainer. And so that's why people watch him. Ironically enough, a lot of what he has talked about lately has come true, at least within the boundaries of his interpretations. And of course, as I talked about, I know what detractors are thinking, and we're going to get to that, but let's go ahead and read here on his own company. Tech billionaire and ex-boss Elon Musk has restored Alex Jones' social media account on the platform. As of early Sunday morning, Jones' account, Real Alex Jones, has been reinstated. Alex Jones is on X right now giving the first interviews since being reinstated. And I'll tell you what, he wasted no time. He was immediately on this. And a matter of fact, there is an interview with Vivek Ramaswamy, or as our good friend Donald Trump would say, Vivek Ramaswamy. I got to work on his voice. Not really good at it. So here we have from Mario Nawfal, breaking exclusive Alex Jones interview in 2 hours. So there you have the debut on X. The people have spoken, and so it shall be, said Musk, responding to the poll he posted asking users if Jones should return. Now, of course, I think a lot of this was just kind of Musk teasing it a bit because he probably had full intentions of restoring Alex Jones at some point. But he wanted to get the community involved. He wanted to get the people involved because that is essentially the way our society is here in the United States. Our founding fathers were of the people, for the people. And so Musk is simply utilizing this philosophy of our founding fathers of asking the people. Because as we know, when it comes to cancel culture, when it comes to the left, when it comes to the establishment, it's all about them. You either agree with them, and if you don't, then you're a threat to democracy. Then obviously you have to be punished, because if you are not subscribed to their ideology, philosophy, or worldview, then obviously you are a threat to their democracy. You are a threat to their narratives, and so you must be removed. And that's basically the simplest way of putting it. Urgent. Keep Alex Jones in the fight against the New World Order. Please pray and contribute and defendjones.com today. So he has his own little defense thing here. So stay tuned for Alex's first celebratory post, as this is not only a major First Amendment victory, but also a major opportunity to reach new millions who aren't up to date on the world's most pressing issues. It's interesting that they mention that, because the biggest fear that the left has and the establishment has with anyone is influence. Because if they, the left, can't influence people, if the establishment can't influence people, then they've got a problem. Right? They have an individual who isn't part of their cult, who isn't part of their fold, who isn't part of their ideology, philosophy, and worldview, and that presents a danger to them and a danger to their democracy. And, of course, their democracy is authoritarianism. And this is interesting, but let's go ahead and read what the mainstream media is saying, even from the New York Post. Elon Musk restores X account of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones after a user poll. And, of course, that's the way they're going to have to frame it, because, you know, they have to be bombastic and sarcastic and exaggerated their own selves. Elon Musk has restored the X account of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, pointing to a poll on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter that came out in favor of the InfoWars host, who repeatedly called for, there it is, you ready? Yeah, I'm going to read it. You ready? Called for the 2012 Sandy Hook school shooting a hoax. Now, there is far more context to that, as we have always heard, of course, as we heard during the Senate committee hearing when it came to Penn State, Harvard, and MIT, they were all about it's important that we understand the context. Right, that was a whole other story for a whole other video. It poses new uncertainty for advertisers who have fled X over concerns about hate speech appearing alongside their ads, and is the latest divisive public personality to get back their banned account. Now see, this is the language they're using. This is New York Post. New York Post is usually kind of in the middle, as you see here on the rating for ground news. You got 29% left, 52% center, and 19% right. And so it's just kind of fascinating. So remember the wording here. Musk posted a poll on Saturday asking if Jones should be reinstated, with the results showing 70% of those who responded in favor. Early Sunday, Elon tweeted, "The people have spoken, and so it shall be." And it was. He was restored. And I mean, he took off like a rocket. And here's the interesting part. See if this sounds familiar. Elon Musk has restored the X account of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, pointing to a poll on social media platform formerly known as Twitter that came out. And it's basically the same thing. It's copy-pasted. It's copy-pasted. It's copy-pasted all across the media because, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, they work in a coordinated effort. They work in a coordinated effort. And this is how they had Alex Jones removed in the first place. That was in their coordination with cancel culture, with the outrage mob, with media, flexing their muscle because Alex Jones was way far from any narrative. He will not push any narrative that is going to come from the left. Now, if anything arises from Alex Jones, it is that, if nothing else, he irritates the left beyond imaginability. And the fact that he is that a word? The fact that he is back on Twitter just enrages the left, because Twitter used to be like the battleground. This used to be the organization. This used to be the town hall for outrage mob and cancel culture and the left and the establishment, not to mention how much we covered the Department of Homeland Security and government agencies that were influencing social media like Twitter, like YouTube, like Instagram, like TikTok, to an extent. It's absolutely extraordinary. And I'd like to give your thoughts down there on this too, about Alex Jones being reinstated. But not only that, Owen Schroyer has also been reinstated, a journalist and commentator for InfoWars. As you know, he was jailed for 60 days for in breach of his arrangement or agreement that he had. You may remember a few years back, he interrupted a Senate committee hearing. I think it was a Senate committee hearing. It was a hearing of some sort, and he had interrupted it. And as part of his plea deal, it was that he would not. I don't know the wording, so I'm just going to paraphrase and just kind of give you a generalization. So he wasn't allowed to come back and express himself, I guess, as it were, on D.C. Capitol grounds, or the area of the Capitol and in the vicinity of the city, or however it was defined. And so, as you know, he was there on January 6th, espousing his, obviously his freedom of speech, which was, unfortunately, well, his freedom of speech is his freedom of speech, but it was in violation of his parole, in violation of his, not parole, of his plea deal. But so Schroyer is back, and he says here, "I'm back." So like Alex Jones, of course, he got on there and had his celebratory post as well. But it's interesting to see, because it's just amazing to see that we're finally winning the culture war. Now, again, as I say, I'm not the biggest fan of Alex Jones and or InfoWars. I think that they cover things in a very interesting way. In other words, Alex Jones takes a little tiny speck and expands it into a galaxy with his interpretation, but it's not too different from what the left does, where they take something, sensationalize, and, of course, exaggerate things in an extraordinary way. But Alex Jones is an infotainer. Most people that watch him like to see him go off on a rant, like to see him rage. They like to see him talk about, and there's all his, his documents that he always like to say, I've got it, and I've got it on video. It's just an extraordinary day, I think, for freedom of speech across the board. And, of course, here's the reaction. It's important to note here, you guys probably know this too, is that the significance that Elon Musk had on the side of the left when it came to environmentalism and climate change and all that, because, of course, he was making his vehicles and these sorts of things. And So you see, since Elon Musk bought X, the SEC sues Musk over the purchase. The FTC demanded internal documents. Biden's DOJ sues SpaceX for not hiring refugees for secret rocket technology, as though that was significant and or important. Biden's DOJ and the SEC open investigation against Tesla over a literal glass house. Biden DOJ opens criminal investigation against Tesla over self-driving cars. Federal investigation into Neuralink. EOCC sues Tesla over harassment. Massive media campaign against X. Massive corporate boycott campaign. The regime is terrified of this man. This is only the beginning. And of course, just like we say, you know, and this is why I like to present my information to you in a way that everyone can see it, everyone can understand it. The establishment uniparty in this country working together with the Democrats, working together with activists, are going after people. It doesn't matter whether it's Alex Jones or whether it's Elon Musk. They will go after anyone and try to destroy them. They will try to eviscerate them. These are the same people that talk about equity and fairness and equality and listening and participating and respecting people's identities, as it were. And yet here they are engaged in this sort of just evisceration, alienation, segregation. All of these things that they say they stand for, they are engaging in because they don't see it. They think that we can't perceive what they're trying to do. They think that we don't understand. And so Alex Jones's influence is what they're most terrified about, that he may be able to influence people in a way, in a direction that is contrary to theirs. And they also blamed Alex Jones for Donald Trump's victory, along with Russia. It's absolutely absurd. And I'm glad that we're winning when it comes to freedom of speech. Whether you agree with Alex Jones or not, the fact that he was banned and the way he was banned is just disgraceful to happen in our country. My private platform, however you want to explain it, however you want to describe it. No, the U.S. government and its agencies should not be involved in how social media conducts itself. And we found that out through the Twitter files that Elon Musk also released, which is why they went after him too, because he was exposing all of what they did. But it is an extraordinary and interesting day that Alex Jones has returned to Twitter. Now, I'd love to give your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, what you guys think about this, and it's absolutely amazing. I want to thank all you guys for your continued support across New Tech as well as here on YouTube. You guys can see now appearing on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on to subscribe, as well as to select notification. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see all you guys in the next video.